When you lose someone you love, your world just stops. Everything feels strange and unfamiliar, and even taking a single breath feels like a monumental effort. For me, grief was like walking through a thick, disorienting fog. Each step was uncertain, and every single day felt incredibly heavy. It was a suffocating weight. But through that darkness over a long period of time, I learned something truly powerful. Grief doesn't have to be the end of your story. It can actually be the beginning of a transformation. This is the story of how I turned my grief into my purpose. Losing someone you love changes absolutely everything. The laughter that used to fill your home is replaced by a profound, echoing silence. The person you always turned to, the one you leaned on for support, becomes a memory you hold on to with all your might. I remember feeling completely and utterly lost, as if a vital piece of me had been ripped away, leaving a gaping hole. I spent so much time asking, why them? Why now? Why me? But, of course, no answer ever came. It's a question that echoes into the void. What I came to realize is that grief doesn't just disappear with time, no matter what people say. It doesn't fade away into nothing. Instead, it changes its shape. It morphs and molds until it becomes a permanent part of who you are. And at that point, you're faced with a choice. You have to decide what you're going to do with it. Are you going to let it consume and destroy you, or are you going to let it shape you into someone new, someone stronger? I remember the exact moment my perspective began to shift. I was looking in the mirror, and I genuinely didn't recognize the person staring back at me. I saw someone who was just going through the motions, just surviving, not truly living. And in that moment of raw honesty, I asked myself a question that changed everything. What would the person I lost want me to do with my life now? The answer hit me with such clarity, it was almost like they were whispering it to me. I knew, without a doubt, they would want me to live, to laugh again, to love again, to go out and make a positive difference in the world. They would want me to take all of this pain and turn it into something meaningful, something beautiful. And that's when my healing journey truly began. It started not with forgetting, but with a new intention. I started small. I didn't have some grand plan. I began by journaling my thoughts, just getting all the swirling emotions out of my head and onto paper. I started volunteering, focusing my energy on helping others. And then I started sharing my story online. At first, it was incredibly painful to talk about my loss. Each word felt like reopening the wound. But something unexpected happened. The more I shared, the more I realized that my words were helping other people feel less alone in their own grief. My pain had given me a new kind of empathy, a quiet strength, and a much deeper understanding of life and loss. Slowly, I began to see that my loss wasn't just an ending. It was also, in a strange way, a beginning. The immense pain I felt became my greatest teacher. It taught me about compassion in a way I'd never known. It taught me to value every single moment, to hold my loved ones a little tighter. It showed me with absolute certainty that purpose can be born from the darkest, most broken places. Finding purpose doesn't always mean you have to start a foundation or change the world overnight. It's not always some grand, sweeping gesture. Sometimes purpose is found in the small, quiet choices we make every day. It's choosing to be kind when it would be so much easier to shut down and close yourself off from the world. It's reaching out and checking on a friend who you know is also grieving. It's honoring the person you lost by living your life in a way that reflects the love and the values they embodied. For me, my purpose became using my voice. It meant sharing my journey, the good days and the bad. It meant helping others navigate their own paths and find a glimmer of light after loss. It meant turning precious memories not into sources of pain, but into sources of motivation. It became about carrying their light forward into the world. Grief never truly leaves you. I want to be clear about that. It becomes a constant companion. But over time, it evolves. It changes from a heavy anchor into something that reminds you of how deeply you are capable of loving and how incredibly strong you can become. The person I am today was forged in the fires of both immense love and immense loss. And what I've learned is that finding purpose doesn't erase the pain, not at all, but it does give that pain meaning. It gives it a reason. So if you're in that dark, foggy place right now, if you feel lost and broken, please hear this. You can rise again. You can rebuild your life piece by piece. And you can transform your grief into something incredibly powerful. Your story isn't over. Grief changed me completely, but it didn't end me. Instead, it gave me a new reason to live, a new capacity to love, and a new strength to keep going, even on the hardest days. So here is my message to you. Let your grief guide you, but do not let it define you. Allow it to carve you, to teach you, to shape you, because sometimes the most profound purpose is born from the most profound pain. Thank you so much for listening. If this story resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more content on healing and finding purpose. Take care of yourselves.